Will the Sangha, virtuous Sangha, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tăng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thiện chuyên diệu pháp luân lao đạo nam môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, thất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Sadanto Suchero Ye Alahudi San Miao San Puto Xie. Namo Tathagata Toya Daya Hala De Tamil Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jie wan jie nan zao yi, wo jin jie we de shou qi, yuan jie ru lai zhen shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Sixth Patriarch, Venerable First Patriarch, Venerable Left Home people, and all good new advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、六祖、诸祖、各位出家人、各位上智师，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa lục tổ, sơ tổ và quý thầy cô và các vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Today is the 7th of February 2021. Thank you all for joining us in researching this, studying this Sixth Patriarch Sutra. We're nearing the end of it in chapter 9. Well, I noticed in Korea, which is joining us virtually, we have a guest. Yes, a Sunim guest. So, hello Sunim, welcome. Okay, welcome. Okay, very good. All right, let's see. Today, if I'm a little bit slow, it's because we had a full lunch. We had tacos. The best vegetarian tacos in the US. And we are all picking out. I'm sorry, it's so clear. Everyone was picking out. It's so disgusting. You guys have no samadhi whatsoever. It's so sad, I may tell you. It's a test that you failed miserably. We all did. It's so terrible. We're so ashamed of ourselves. Speaking of samadhis, yes? There is a question from all the way from Southeast Asia in Korea. And it has a question they ask about in terms of samadhi. It says that sutras say, for example, the Avatamsaka Sutra says the Buddha arose from samadhi and then he spoke the Dharma. So in general, the question is, do you speak Dharma while you're in samadhi, or you are speaking Dharma outside of samadhi? Fair question. What do you think, you sleepy people? What happened to my tea? Today is the day that I need tea. I'm kidding, it's coming, I'm sure. Yes, White.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's different types of samadhi. So maybe there's a samadhi with the Buddha sitting, and then there's samadhi with the Buddha speaking Dharma.
Excellent. God, this guy keeps on stealing my thunder. God, at least pretend to make a wrong guess or something, and I give you the fourth guess, something like that. Gee, it's so deflating. Hey, yeah. It's a question that came all the way from Korea. And the Sunim, they said, I don't know, we can't agree. And we talked to the Vietnamese monks and nuns, they can't agree either. They argue back and forth, arguing back and forth, and back and forth. And you answer in one sentence. I'm so ashamed. It's just cultivating so easy. It's not supposed to be like that. You're not supposed to have answers. When I was cultivating by myself, I had so many questions and no answers. Nowadays, you go, oh, Master, I have a question. I need an answer before, otherwise I won't do anything. Really? And why does it concern me? Okay, oh well. Hey, baby. All right. Of course. Okay. Exactly. Whoever that person was, the answer is correct. In Buddhism, there are at least 1 million different types of samadhis. So each samadhi has its use. For example, before speaking the sutra, important sutras like the big three sutras, the Avatamsaka Sutra, the Shurangama Sutra, the Lotus Sutra, those are big sutras in Mahayana that contain very profound principles. The Buddha would emit light, okay, so that to signify he's about to speak a very, very profound Dharma. So and then he would exit the samadhi. Why? Because that samadhi is designed for the purpose of, emitting light and all the things we don't quite completely understand. So there's a samadhi, the Buddha, that sort of announces to the world, to announce to the universe, the Dharma realm, that, this Dharma here is very profound and you better pay attention, be at your best, concentrate, do not be sleepy, don't eat too much at lunch and stuff like that, Don't pig out. And then he exits the samadhi and then enters another samadhi to speak the Dharma. Thank you. every time the Buddha speaks the Dharma, he's always in Samadhi. Okay? And that kind of Samadhi, what kind of what kind of Samadhi? The Samadhi that gives him the ability to speak the Dharma very eloquently. He's incomparable when he speaks the Dharma. Okay? He is so captivating, so enchanting, so creates rapture in the listeners, and that's why he enters that Samadhi. So really, it is definitely a plus to be able to be in attendance, okay, of when the Buddha speaks Dharma. That's why the Dharma assemblies or the Buddha spoke Dharma, it's just like so many people came, great bodhisattvas, arhats and so forth, they come. And there's so many of them that they're all over. I mean, they fill up empty space. And they're so respectful because they themselves enter Samadhi to listen to the Buddha's sermons. See, that's how grave of an event, a happening used to be. Okay, so in Buddhism, you will, as your skills, the reason you ask this question because you're not trained in samadhis. That's why you're not clear about these things. But even as you progress along, you will discover that. For example, when I certify you, they have certain levels. That means at that level, you're able to do certain things. Okay? And then you verify for yourself. Okay? Meaning that I go out on a limb telling you, for example, you reach, let's say, just for the heck of it, third stage arhat. Anyone? Something to look forward to. You here, you there, okay? Third stage arhat, okay? So, for example, I told you, you reach third stage arhat, and you say, I don't feel anything, right? Master's got to be, bragging, pulling our legs, okay? It doesn't work because no money comes in. I've tried over 15 years. No one is impressed. Okay? So my point is that it's not for them, it's for you. Okay? You among the people say you reach third stage arhat, for example. Okay? And then, meaning that when you enter the samadhi of this third stage arhat, something happens. Do you know what happens? Let me have my tea first. Think about it. Google it. Hey, spy. No? What is the name of the samadhi of the third stage arhat? Anyone? You don't know? What? Hey, thunder stealer. Forgot. He's unprepared. Mie shou ting. What is that? Mie, shou, ting. Ting is samadhi. Shou is what? Feelings. Feelings. Mie, shou is what? extinguish feelings. Meaning, when you enter the samadhi, you have no more feelings. No more feelings. So, for example, you're third stage arhat, and you work for the CIA. Anyone? No one? You work for the CIA, and the Russian Secret Service capture you and torture you. Torture you. Very painful. Very, very painful. Okay? You know that. So you enter the samadhi, no pain. You protect your country, secrets. You're supposed to go like this. See that? It's very useful, especially for the CIA people, spies. Spies. Yes, cube.
Master, what if the spy
Higher?
cannot enter the samadhi at will?
What?
What if the spy cannot enter samadhi at will?
Then it's gonna hurt like hell. That's why you want to practice the samadhi and entering, exiting, entering, exiting, entering, exiting at will, so that you can use it at will. Okay?
Master, the correct question is actually how to enter the samadhi at will.
That's depends on how much donation you made. I gotta keep my secrets. You think I give everything away for free? Think again. Okay? Or those of you who do not work for the CIA, you go to the dentist's office, and the dentist open wide. That's when you enter samadhi. Okay? It's very useful, let me tell you. Chan is so useful. I don't know how you could go through life without samadhis. You poor people. Uh-oh, the spy has a question. Orange.
Mô Phật, thầy nói là mở cái hầm răng vô cái định lực, cái chích cái mũi thuốc tê vô là có định lực rồi. Nó đâu có đau, đâu có gì đâu có biết cái
No need,
xuất hết cái nó đau.
No need for anesthesia. No need. Không cần. Okay? Same thing. I mean, like your wife yells at you. Same thing. You enter samadhi. Why does it hurt? Or the legs are hurting. Enter samadhi. What pain? Okay? All right. Does it help? Yes, sir. Green.
Master, you can enter samadhi to detach from your emotional feelings too, not just the pain, physical pain, but emotional feelings.
All feelings. You extinguish all feelings, meaning whatever feelings that arise in your system, you will not feel anything. Okay? So, it's a necessary skill for spies, absolutely. James Bond, that kind of thing, you know. All right. Okay, so it is. So the point is that that's one example of samadhi that you can have at low levels. As higher levels, you see a lot more wonderful use of samadhis and so forth. And this is why in Buddhism we develop so many types of samadhis. Okay. All right, we are on chapter 9, slide number 14. Let's continue with this, investigating this Sixth Patriarch Sutra, one of my favorite sutras. Sutra text. Xue Jian said, the virtuous Chan masters at the capital all say that to master the way, one must sit in Chan meditation and practice concentration.
薛简曰：“今臣禅德皆云，欲得会道，必须坐禅习定。”
Okay. Commentary on slide 15. Xue Jian. Remember, Xue Jian is the eunuch, right? Eunuch. So he is a very, very knowledgeable. And that's why he was chosen by the empress to go and meet with the master. And so he says the virtuous Chan masters at the capital. He says, so he's referring to these experts in the Chan expert Chan teachers that he's met at the capitals. Okay, of course, when you teach Chan at the capital, you need to go through of course you're known to the government, to the empress. He said they all say that the virtuous Chan masters, meaning the Chan masters who are very, very well respected, and they have very high virtuous behaviors. They said you must master. You really have to be adept at sitting meditation and cultivate samadhi. Okay? So you see, back then, there's no doubt in the practitioners in Mahayana that you must master, must learn, must be adept at practicing meditation. Okay, in particular, sitting meditation is a strength in terms of training in Chan in China back then. Okay, and because when you do sitting meditation, you can develop your samadhi much better, much higher, much quicker, much everything. Right? 16, Sutra text. For without Chan concentration, liberation is impossible. I do not know how the master explains this Dharma. Dharma is the capital D. Make that correction.
若不因禅定而得解脱者，谓之有也。为审师说法如何？
17. Commentary. Without Chan concentration, liberation is impossible. Meaning that one cannot be liberated, one cannot attain liberation according to these virtuous, well-respected Chan masters. Without concentration, we cannot attain liberation. And how does a master, the Venerable Master, explain this Dharma? Okay? Correct into the capital D, please. Okay? So he immediately asked a question to this the Venerable Sixth Patriarch. 18, Sutra text. The Master said, "The way is awakened too from the mind. How could it be from sitting?"
师曰：道由心悟，岂在坐也？
19 commentary slide. The Sixth Patriarch reciprocated because his eunuch is very blunt, very direct. So the Sixth Patriarch didn't feel that he had to beat around the bush either. So he says, the way is awakened from the mind. How could it be? How could it arise from sitting? In other words, he says, it's the mind that awakens. It's the mind that gets liberated through awakening. Whereas sitting in meditation is physical activity. So, in essence, you're sitting helps awakens the mind, but intellectual understanding without physical training is ineffective. This refers to the people who only read books. I bet that this Xue Jian actually does sitting meditation himself. Okay, that's why he's very, very knowledgeable. But here, the Sixth Patriarch avoided offending Xue Jian. Because he could look at Xue Jian and tell Xue Jian, you're bookworm, basically, okay? Because you're a high-ranking official, you really never bowed to any master for teacher, okay? So the only people who is willing to teach you are the ones who don't know how to teach you. Am I making sense? When you don't bow to a teacher as for your teacher, and you go from teacher to teacher to teacher to teacher, okay, the only teachers who is willing to teach you are no good teachers. Okay, they're trying to impress you. And that's why a lot of Chinese, a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of Koreans, a lot of Buddhist disciples in our era are making that mistake. They go from temple to temple to temple. It's perfectly okay to socialize and have fun and support the temples. It's a good thing. But you want to learn Mahayana, you cannot do that. Okay? So it's because you need to draw near a good knowing advisor. That's a Mahayana style of training. Okay, and you need to go through a lot of tests for you to be worthy to be taught. That's how tough it is in Mahayana. Okay. So this Xue Jian here says, "I'm smart. I'm an assistant to the empress. I'm very powerful. Why would I bow to you as a teacher? You lowly monk." Okay, with that attitude, no one's going to teach him. No good teacher would teach him. Okay? So it's interesting at this stage here, Master Huineng refrained from criticizing him. 20, Sutra text. The Vajra Sutra states that to say that Tathagata either sits or lies down is to walk a deviant path. Why?
经云：若言如来落坐落卧是行邪道，何故？
Now, this is where you see how clever, how beautiful the six patriarchs handle this bookworm. He's conceited guy. He says, I know everything. I heard so from many teachers already. Okay? I've read up on the Buddhist scriptures as well. So then, he has this self-assurance, this eunuch. So what does he do? The sixth patriarch says, I quote from the scriptures for you. The scriptures. You read scriptures. I will quote some scriptures for you. Not any scriptures. The scriptures that you cannot understand. You think you understand, but you cannot understand this scripture called this Vajra Sutra. This is why you enjoy. It's so enjoyable to see how fast this illiterate monk, the sixth patriarch, never went to school. My master went to the 6th grade, 8th grade, and he stopped. The sixth patriarch was worse. He never went to school, didn't know how to read. Okay. And there he was, faced with a guy who probably has the equivalent of a PhD from many universities, at least honorary PhDs. Okay? And he says, and I quote from this sutra called Vajra Sutra. Of course, you're a Mahayana person, Christian. Vajra Sutra is like no one understands Vajra Sutra, by the way. No one. Okay? Don't believe it when anyone says, I understand the Vajra Sutra. That's baloney. No one gets it. Yeah.
Why isn't the Vajra Sutra considered one of the three main sutras of Mahayana with the Avatamsaka, the Shurangama, and the Lotus Sutra?
Vajra Sutra is not the big sutra. It's a small sutra. The big sutra is 3. Avatamsaka Sutra, Lotus Sutra, Shurangama Sutra. Vajra is not. Okay? But Vajra Sutra is very difficult to understand because it's spoken to me primarily for bodhisattvas. So that's why a lot of things are spoken there in that particular sutra is so condensed, principles that really most people cannot get it. Even bodhisattvas don't get it. That's why it's spoken to them, spoken for them. Okay? Vajra Sutra states that, back to slide number 21, commentary, states that Tathagata either sits or lies down is to walk a deviant path. Yeah. It says there in the sutra, it says that those who claim that the Buddha sits or lies down, actually those people who claim that they're so knowledgeable, actually they practice the deviant path, meaning that they don't understand the Dharma, and that's indeed very dangerous to have little knowledge. Okay, little knowledge can only be used to con stupid people. And that's all you can do. All right. Next, 22. Sutra text. The clear pure chan of the Tathagata comes from nowhere and goes nowhere and is neither produced nor extinguished.
无所从来，亦无所去，无生无灭，是如来清净禅。
Again, the English translation, unfortunately, is detracts from the brutality, the strength of the sixth patriarch message. Okay, because what happens in Chinese, they flipped the order around to make it more English-like. But no, the Chinese is done that way in order to shock the listener. Here's what the Chinese says. It says exact opposite. Okay, it says coming from nowhere and going nowhere. I would change the translation because it afflicts me to see how they destroy this beautiful conversation, beautiful teaching from one of the greatest teachers in Buddhism. It's annoying. These people don't understand. These people are basically bookworms. They don't understand the sheer strength and the sheer power of this teaching. Okay? He says, coming from nowhere and going nowhere. Okay? 无生无灭, neither produce nor extinguish. That is the clear pure chan of the Tathagata. You see the forcefulness, he says, okay, what is coming from nowhere and going nowhere? Neither produce nor extinguish. That's the Tathagata chan. We're designed to beat it into your brain so that there's no discussion, there's nothing to think. Change it. It's annoying. You bookworms don't realize that, that when you're not coming, it's not coming or going, meaning you enter Samadhi. Okay? It's not produced or extinguished. Okay? Meaning that it arises from the nature. Okay? From sitting is not a very good comment. It's neither produced nor extinguished because it's the self-nature. Your self-nature that you have. You. Okay? That is exactly the Buddha's chan, which is pure and clear. And that's the nature of the sudden teaching. That's why it's called sudden teaching. Okay. Okay, very good. 24, Sutra text. The Tathagata's clear, pure sitting is a state of all dharmas being empty and still. Ultimately, there is no certification, even less is there any sitting.
诸法空寂，是如来清净坐，究竟无证，岂况作耶？
This is where the wisdom of the great Patriarch shines forth. It's the way that he handles the mind, the thinking mind of this bookworm, Xue Jian, okay, who is a high-level official in the court. He handles this guy so beautifully. So now, because this guy is into explanations, into intellectual things, so he first says, this is certain teaching, okay? It is coming nowhere, it's going nowhere, coming from nowhere, going nowhere, and that's a certain teaching. And then he further elaborates for this guy's sake. Okay? He says, let me explain to you, moreover, this Tathagata, clear and pure sitting, is actually the state of all dharmas being empty and still. That means that if you practice and you are able to enter this Tathagata Chan, you will find out what it is. It's actually a state of all dharmas being empty and still. It's beautiful. Of course, it's beautiful because it's true and also because Xue Jian doesn't get it. And he can't argue. How about that for debate skills? This guy, this Xue Jian is there for a fight. He says, hey, let's have a debate. And the Patriarch, in a few sentences, he basically shut him up. It's beautiful. You guys are totally unimpressed. God, how disappointing. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Look, some are even sleeping. God. Ultimately, there is no certification, even less is there any sitting. He says, this chanting here is nothing to certify, nothing to brag about. Okay? Only low lives would brag about it. The real Tathagata chant people, they don't brag about it. They say, third stage arhat. What is that again? I sort of forgot. What is the third stage arhat again? Huh? What is fourth ground bodhisattva? What is it again? Remind me, son. Who's your teacher? Oh, that guy. Okay. Even less is any sitting. Okay. So he basically nothing is certified, nothing to sit. What sitting is there? So he basically destroyed the concept, this Xue Jian's concept of sitting, and the concept of samadhi that he learned from these virtuous Chan masters from the capital. You don't enjoy this. Oh God. Never mind. Go play with the boy. Jeez. Sutra text 26. Xue Jian said, when your disciple returns to the capital, the majesties will surely question him.
简曰：弟子回京，主上必问。
Commentary. He says, when your disciple returns to the capital, this guy probably took refuge in one of those, capital Buddhist monks to please the empress, of course, to impress the empress. The majesties will surely question him. So the court officials and his bosses will certainly question him. Okay? What did you learn? What do you think? Okay? So notice, so far, when Xue Jian quoted these virtuous, legendary Chan master from the capital, saying so and so and so, the 6th patriarch shutting down in 3 sentences. That's how brutal he was. Okay? And it worked. Because this guy was totally overwhelmed. Because he used words and he quoted from sources that this guy knew that is the authority on Mahayana. It's beautiful. Okay, it's okay. Go back to sleep. Next, sutra text. Only Billy gets to appreciate it. The rest of you fall F ears. Will the High Master please be compassionate and instruct me on the essentials of the mind, so that I can report them up to the 2 palaces and to students of the way at the capital?
愿师慈悲，指示心要，传奏2公及精诚学道者。
Commentary. So this guy backs down. Okay, now, before it's just being polite, going through the protocol. Yes, Master, I bow to you. Yes, I'm from the court, I bow to you. Okay? The masters from the capital tell me so and so about Chan. Okay? What do you think? So he's showing off. He says, I've learned from these virtuous and great Chan masters, recognized by our court, by the empress and so forth. Okay, she bowed to them. She greeted them. These are virtuous masters, and this is what they teach us. What do you think? And within a few sentences, he chopped their legs off, cut this guy at the knees. So this guy, what does he do? He fell on his knees and please teach me. It's called brutality, brutal teaching. Hey, Kath, you ever found a teacher like that over there? Yeah, use your color. You blue. Give him a chance to speak.
Hello? I think I have found better ones.
You found a better one?
Yes.
Touché. You really, make me swallow my words. Good repost. Does he drive a car? Yes. Another question somewhere. Yes, Green.
Master, what does Tathagata mean? Is it Sanskrit?
Tathagata is the thus come one. It's one of the 10 titles of the Buddha. Okay? Tathagata, thus come one, Buddha, and so forth. All right. So this guy backed out. You're too much. I almost believe him. Because he looks so serious. Good thing he put on the mask, that's why. Will the High Master be compassionate and instruct me on the essentials of the mind? You see, you notice before he says, my masters taught me so. And he says, no, never mind, my masters, will you teach me? It's so beautiful. I don't think he gets it. So that I can report them up to the 2 palaces And the students of the way, the capital, 2 palaces. What 2 palaces? Chinese people. What 2 palaces?
Master, this is my guess. It's the king and the female empress.
Yes. It's the emperor who lives in his own palace. And the empress has her own palace. They don't live together. You know, they're royalties. They're not like us. They can afford to have 2 palaces. We can't. Low lives like us, you know, like we live together in one church. I mean, look at this, how pitiful it is. Typically, what happened to the old monk? Oh, he's gone already. You see what I mean? The old monk. I told him, I proclaimed this morning that he's entitled, he deserves at least 10 temples like Wei Mountain Temple. Yeah. For him, 10 temples like this is, I'm really lowballing it. It's not even 10. Yes, and yes, Christian.
But I think you are the only Buddhist monk that could say you have a temple with a cross.
What did he say? Translation. This guy is too much for me. Yeah, translate for him so that I have time to think.
He said you're the only Buddhist monk that could say he has a temple with a cross on it.
Amen. Because I'm poor, I cannot afford to take it down. It does have a sense of humor. Okay, so the 2 palaces, they're one for each of them. One for the emperor, one the emperor's son, one for the emperor's mother. Okay, in the same compound, the same forbidden city, something like that. And to students of the way at the capital. Okay, meaning that now he's sort of lumping his virtue Chan masters at the capital among those students of the way. You see that? This guy has no spine. You know, before he said, no, virtue Chan master, they are the number 1. Okay? And within 1 minute, say, oh yeah, they're students of the way. You don't appreciate the Chinese humor here. Anyway. It's so comical, Chinese people. Sutra text. It will be like one lamp setting 100,000 lamps burning, making all the darkness endlessly light.
譬如一灯，燃百千灯，明者皆明，明明无尽。
Comment. This is BS. Don't be impressed. I bet you 6 days. God, this is disgusting. I mean, this guy is a court official and he's such a low life. I mean, they talk. Forget the comment. I don't care for the comment. Okay, 32. It's disgusting. Sutra text. The master said, the way is without light. Excuse me. The way is without light or darkness. Light and darkness belong to the principle of alternation. Endless light has an end too, because such terms are relative.
诗云：道无明暗，明暗是懈怠之意，是代谢之意。明明无尽，亦是有尽，相待立明。
Commentary. Sigh. Okay. Listen. This monk here has no education. Okay? I have a master's degree. And he outclasses him by miles. You know, the way he explains the Dharma is so beautiful, so elegant, so eloquent, you know. And the way I speak Dharma is like Vietnamese "you đảng." What's a "you đảng"? Avoid you in French. What's English for that? Anyone knows? "You đảng." Huh? What? Francis, don't be polite. Huh? A gangster, thank you. See, my style of speaking Dharma is like a gangster style. His style is like a great patriarch. Look how beautiful it is. You know, he didn't say, "Oh, you idiot." You know, no. He said, "Light and darkness." It's so beautiful. And you found someone better than this? Yeah, right. Okay. It's so interesting. You know, the way is without light or darkness. Light and darkness belong to the principle of alternation. Alternation refers to duality. You get, I like, I hate you. I like you, I hate you. I like you, I hate you. That's alternation. You great, you suck. You great, you suck. That kind of thing. Okay, that's alternation. Okay, alternator. It flips. It switches. Okay, endless light. Is no such a thing as endless light. And stop using such a relative, such a arbitrary terms. Okay, so he chided. This court official in such a elegant way of calling him stupid. Okay, this is the kind of thing I need to go back and study this in greater details. How to insult people without appearing to insult them. Sutra text. Therefore, the Vimalakirti Sutra says the Dharma is incomparable because it is not relative.
故净明经云：法无有比，无相待故。
I can't praise this section enough. It's so elegant. Okay, remember he quoted first of all when the court official came and said, "There are these virtuous great masters at the capital taught me so and so. What do you think? You agree, disagree?" Okay, so the sixth patriarch explained to him and said, "Oh, those people are students of the way. Okay, so tell me what I need to bring back to teach them." Okay, that's how quickly the attitude changed. Okay, because the sixth patriarch quoted a sutra called the Vasha Sutra. When you hear Vasha Sutra, I assure you, all these intellectuals are frightened out of the wits. They don't know what it says. You don't understand it at all. Okay, I mean, we don't understand it at all. That's the truth. Okay, now, so now now in order to help the court official, now he quoted a sutra that he can understand. He thinks he can understand. Okay, that's why it's so clever, so beautiful when you switch it. Like typically, you go into a debate, you stick to the Vajra Sutra. He cannot understand. You quote another thing. Furthermore, in the lower section of Vajra Sutra, lower level section of Vajra Sutra, also says so and so and so. Okay, it's still frightening to this guy. So he switches to the Vimalakirti Sutra that everyone thinks that they understand. You see the flipping right there, the referencing, the cross-referencing, it's beautiful. Because he instantaneously adapted to Xue Jian's mind and attitude. You see that? He first came with a bad attitude. He says, hey, Vajra Sutra says that you know. And he says, oh, okay. And then now he's pliant, he's receptive. Then he says, let me tell you, I'll teach you now. You see that? Are you awake or you just open your eyes? Okay, next. It's so beautiful. The rest of the commentary is nonsense. How beautiful it is. Huh? Why would you go into all this the junk here in the commentary? Much as some kind of idiots commentary. 36 Sutra text. Xue Jian said, light represents wisdom, and darkness represents affliction. If cultivators of the way do not use wisdom to expose and destroy affliction, how can they escape from the birth and death that has no beginning?
简曰：明喻智慧，暗喻烦恼。修道之人，倘不以智慧照破烦恼，无死生死，凭何出离？
Okay. Commentary 37. So, Xue Jian quotes directly from scriptures, okay, which is correct. The guy knows what he's doing. It says light represents wisdom, and darkness represents affliction. Okay, listen. Okay, light. When you have wisdom, you shine light. Okay, when your mind is a state of wisdom, you shine light. You enter Samadhi, you shine light. That's correct. Darkness, when you're afflicted, okay, you will also emit light, but that light is dark. Okay, you emit dark light. You emit darkness. You are scary. Now you understand why I call certain people scary people. They are afflicted. You know what I mean? They're afflicted. That's why they're scary. If they're not afflicted, no problem. Okay. If cultivators of the way do not use wisdom to expose and destroy affliction, how can they escape from a birth and death that has no beginning? So, birth and death that has no beginning refers to the fact that we have been revolving in this wheel reincarnation since forever. That's why you're still here. Because you've been coming here and then dying, lose his body, come back up here, dying, lose your body, go to the heavens, die, and fall down, go back to heaven, dies, and fall down, and so forth. Endlessly. Since beginningless time, no one remembers when it started, except for the Buddha. It's so far back that's impossible to measure it with a number. It's not possible. Only Buddha knows that number. We don't. That's why instead of naming our sons, like what's the Tesla guy's name? Okay? He named his daughter or son like some kind of mathematical formula. Yeah, he had a child with his wife, and he named his child something. Someone Google that for me. It's a very weird name, okay? And put it in the birth certificate. And the government actually said, no, this is not a legitimate name. And it turns out to be some kind of mathematical expression or something. What a weird guy. But I love him. He has a lot of money. Successful. Okay. Why am I making fun of rich people? How am I going to get rich if I keep on making fun of rich people? Okay. So, birth and death without beginning, meaning that we've been going on and on endlessly, and we are continue to do that. Okay? There's no sign that we can put an end to it. That's what the Buddhists are saying. Beginningless, birth and death, meaning that you don't know when it started and you know it will continue forever. That's what it means. You cannot read it as beginningless as only in the back. No, it also means moving forward endlessly as well. It's supposed to be a wake-up call for you. And you guys say, yeah, I get it. I know beginningless and birth and death. No, it's supposed to make you depressed. But no, these scholars say, yeah, I know what they're talking about. I know what they're talking about. Yes, black. Yeah, the name. X-A12. X-A12. That's the name of his offspring.
That's how you pronounce it.
Cuckoo. That's another. That's the Vietnamese. That's a Vietnamese pronunciation of that. You guys pronounce X-A12. We say cuckoo. Never mind. Okay, so it's amazing. You listen to the scholars say beginningless time and so forth. It's nonsense because they say I understand it's beginningless, but they miss the endless future as well, going on endlessly into the future. That's what the Buddha alludes to. If they don't use wisdom to expose and destroy affliction, how can they escape? What's the problem with this? Oh God, these commentaries are so scholarly. What's wrong? Use wisdom to expose and destroy affliction. Yes, what?
First of all, when I read it, I just feel like the guy just thinks too much. He's got too much stuff in his head. And second of all, when I feel like Sixth Patriarch would say something like, there's no wisdom, there's no affliction. Like there's like how you said, like, you know, when the ghost comes and like starts beating me, like it's not real, like that sort of thing. I feel like that would be the kind of sudden teaching that the Sixth Patriarch might say.
Very good, very good. What's the polite way to answer that? Very good, very good. Yes, Q.
Master, I was thinking, could it be that if you have wisdom, then why would you have affliction?
That works for me. That's the advantage of having a light lunch. I can't think. Okay. You know, when it's so full, your normal breath, then you only have to, you take one breath, now you have to take 5. Not funny. That girl there is, you know, she's so skinny, I cannot believe it. How can you be so laughing at us? Okay, yes, absolutely. If you have wisdom, why is there a need to expose and destroy affliction? You see, that's what scholars keep on making the mistake. You know, I use wisdom to destroy my... So it's like, if you have wisdom, what affliction is there to destroy? It is so scholarly, you know, they keep on arguing back and forth, you know. And yes, sir.
Oh, maybe they're talking about wisdom from the good knowing advisor that would destroy the affliction of the student.
No. He's not even that. He doesn't believe in good no advisors, don't you see? He says, cultivators way do not use wisdom, meaning they're supposed to use wisdom. Okay? So that's why this guy only uses words, and it's amazing how patient the Sixth Patriarch is with this guy. Next, 38. The Master said, affliction is bodhi. They are not two and not different. One who uses wisdom to expose and destroy affliction.
诗曰：烦恼即菩提，无二无别。若以智慧照破烦恼者，
He says, affliction is bodhi. Okay, so that's what we commented. He said, if you have affliction, where is? If you have wisdom, where is affliction? It's another way to say it. Affliction is bodhi, one and the same. They are not two and not different. This is a very, very important concept in Buddhism. 无二无别, 无二无异. Okay? Meaning that it's not two, they're not different, they're not different. I'm trying to come up with a word that's better than 别. 别 here in Chinese has the connotation of discrimination. Okay? I am different from you is different from I am apart from you. Right? So the BA here has more of an apart from you than different from you. Okay? Unfortunately, it's not translated into English. I don't have an equivalent way of describing that. Okay? But because we're bilingual, so the translation doesn't quite capture the concept here. BA here has a discrimination context. Okay? Different has a classification. Okay? So I don't know if it makes sense to you or not. Okay? BA here is very special. Later, the later patriarch used wu wu yi. Yi is distinct. Okay? So anyway, different is okay, would work, but I just need to point out to you that the Chinese teaching is very subtle because it points out to this discrimination. Two is that they're different. Two is different already, right? But BA here has discrimination on top of being different. Chinese people, you agree or disagree? The Chinese lost it too. Okay. One who uses wisdom to expose and destroy affliction. Now the sixth patriarch uses the same words as the scholar uses. You see what he says? Shall we? 40. Sutra text has a views and understanding of the two vehicles and the potential of the sheep and deer carts. Those of superior wisdom and great roots are completely different.
此是二乘见解，阳路等机，上至大根，悉不如是。
Okay, vehicles here should be in capital. He says that your mindset is about exposing and destroying afflictions. Okay, that kind of mindset, that kind of thinking, that kind of view, kind of beliefs. Okay, that shows that your training, your understanding, your teachers from the two vehicles. And what are those two vehicles? The two vehicles have, in the Lotus Sutra, the Shakyamuni Buddha made the analogy of the two vehicles. Remember, vehicles is a concept that says to carry living beings from one shore to the other, from here to liberation, from suffering to bliss. Okay? From a wheel reincarnation to nirvana. Okay? So that's vehicle. You need to have a vehicle for that purpose. And when you say people, your manhood, if you mind, you put up with my forgive my lack of my lack of vocabulary. Your manhood, okay, is in how many people you can carry. Okay. If you're a real man, you carry more than one. Okay, so that's why the two vehicles are the vehicles of the Arhats and Pratyeka Buddhas. The arhats are the one, when they get to the fourth stage arhat, they are considered done, they are enlightened. Or the Pratyeka Buddha, their wisdom a little bit higher, the wisdom is higher, and samadhi level is a little bit higher than the fourth stage arhat. They still belong to the sound hearers. They still belong to the sound hearers' vehicles. Okay, and the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, gave an analogy of the arhat as the practitioners who are working on the sheep cart. There, after they're done with their practice, okay, the cart, okay, that they come up with, they produce, is that a sheep cart, because a sheep can only pull so much. Okay, so sheep is very limited, so limited. Okay, ever seen a goat pull anything? That's why you can't pull anything. See that? And then next is a deer cart, a deer, Bambi. It carries a few people. It's better. But it's limited. Potential here is it's very limited. Okay? That's all they can do. In contrast, those with superior wisdom and great roots, meaning big vehicles, they're not the same at all. Okay? So, again, it's a nice way of insulting this scholar and tell him that you don't have great roots. .42 Sutra text. Why are you moving so fast? Do we have enough slides? Now I worry. Should I slow down? Because I'm going fast because you guys are falling asleep. Malcolm is saying, oh, I never had so much lunch, such a heavy lunch on Sundays. Xie said, what are the views and understanding of the great vehicle?
简曰：如何是大乘见解？
43 Commentary. Herein lies the facts of Buddhism. It hasn't changed since ancient times till today. What hasn't changed? The people who follow the scholarly approach of studying Buddhism are not Mahayana people. Anyone feels insulted? Yes, green.
Master, is Mahayana Southern Buddhism and Hinayana Northern Buddhism?
At that time, yeah, but it's in China, but actually only during that time it's called that. But it's not. It's no south. It's no north. Jewel Mountain has a question.
Jewel Mountain asks, is Pratyeka Buddha below three worthies, or is it completely different paths? Once someone becomes a Pratyeka Buddha, they can never become three worthy?
They can move on. Three worthies is above them. Okay. Anyone else? Boy, you guys don't appreciate what just happened. When I was practicing, when I was doing Chan and studying the scriptures, I asked the same question. I said, Are they the same? What do I do? Okay, it kept on coming back. Because it's not written anywhere in the books. So Suijin says, okay, I give up. I agree. I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me about the great vehicle. Okay, 44, Sutra text. The Master said, the common person sees light and darknesses too, but the wise person comprehends that their nature is non-dual.
诗曰：明与无明，凡夫见二，智者了达，其性无二。
45, commentary. Master simply said, you want to learn Mahayana? It's just so beautiful. Oh God, I keep on using the word beautiful. I think you must be bored to death. Yes.
I feel like this passage kind of sums up what I've learned from the sutra of because what basically happens almost every time from what I've seen, or as far as I can remember, is that a person will come to the master with a very discriminating mind. They'll see, lightness and darkness, or they'll say this or that, and it'll be like two opposites, and he'll say, no, there's no opposites, like it's all non-dual, and he basically like gets the message through really quickly. And it's just really cool to see that. And I was thinking about that. I was going to say that in the slide before, but now that he said the non-dual nature, I thought I would say that now.
Don't you dare. Okay, cute.
Master, so the afflictions and bodhi are the same. So do you, as practitioners, do you see they're the same after you reach certain level, or there are a different level you see different afflictions are being not afflictions? Is this a gradual or sudden thing?
You understand the question? Do you understand the question? Yes, orange.
Miễn mà mình có trí huệ rồi đó thì mình nhìn thấy cái phiền não của mình rồi. Mà mình không có trí huệ rồi làm sao mà nhìn được cái phiền não của mình? Bây giờ mình có cái trí huệ thì mình nhìn được cái phiền não của mình, thì mình phải nhẫn phải tự mà mình phải phá bỏ cái phiền não. Rồi mà mình không có cái trí huệ không có phá nổi đâu thầy. Mô Phật.
Spoken like a Hinayana person.
If you have wisdom, then you see affliction. And of course, if you don't have wisdom, you will not see affliction. And you need to have patience in order to break through the affliction.
This woman here belongs to the baby goat vehicle.
Thông bởi vì bà Tám, miễn bà Tám có thần thông, mà bởi vì sư phụ nói sau này ai nào cũng có thần thông hết trơn đó. Con nghĩ tới học tới giờ có 20 mấy năm mà học cái tiếng này không ra, mới trước này con mới học ra được một cái thần thông. Bởi vì sư phụ nói sau này ai nào cũng có thần thông hết. Thì con nghĩ hoài thần thông mà đâu có dễ mà học ha. Thiệt bây giờ có. Điện thoại lấy lên nó muốn bấm tới đâu không có hết trơn, nó thằng thông nó đi cùng hết trơn, ai nào cũng biết hết. Rồi cái sư phụ nói đừng có bị có thằng thông rồi, đừng có thông minh mà bị thông minh lừa nữa. Mấy câu đó con học hoài đó. Mô Phật.
Master, I remember Shifu said in the
Shifu is
future.
Master YongHua, is not me. She never looks at me. Shifu, trust me.
So Master YongHua said that in the future everybody will have spiritual power, and then like I was ponder upon it and say like, no, it's not easy to have spiritual power. But then a few days ago, I suddenly realized, oh, I do have spiritual power. Now everybody has the cell phone. It's you have everything in there.
Yeah, and you can go anywhere. New York. Oh yeah, at your fingertips. Look at the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we spare her for today. I don't have a lot of energy right now to fight. Yu Mong has a question.
Jewel Mountain asks, does ignorance equal darkness? Because it says ordinary person sees brightness and ignorance as two, and then it is translated ignorance into darkness.
Yeah, ignorance, darkness. Yes. The analogy of ignorance is like the lack of light, so you can't see. You can't distinguish clearly. You cannot recognize. That's why it's called ignorance. You see, you don't realize that it's so bad for you, and you still hang on to it. And that's ignorance. That's stupidity. You can't recognize because you that's why it's symbolized by darkness. You can't see. Yes, Blue.
In Buddhism, if you have wisdom, can you still be ignorant? Or ignorance goes away when you have wisdom?
Can you be
Ignorant.
wise and ignorant at the same time?
Yes, that was my question.
What kind of question is that?
I'm just curious.
You crack me up. You gotta come more often. Anyone, let him have it.
Make a T-shirt of that and make a lot of money. Can you be ignorant and wise at the same time?
Yes, Black.
So that's an oxymoron.
Oxymoron. Party pooper. Yeah.
I was gonna say they're both bodhi, so, and everything in Buddhism seems like oxymoron. So why not?
Jewel Mountain has an answer. Let him have it.
And Jewel Mountain says, with wisdom, you become less ignorant.
Do you hear, Christian? Do you hear clearly, Christian? Huh? God, where did he come from? Go back there. I don't care where you came from. Actually, you want to hear the truth? He's right. You guys are all wrong. Look who's stupid now. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Korean, stupid. Of course, you can have wisdom and still be ignorant. Excellent. That's why you have to be humble even when you're wise. I'm serious. You may be wise, but you're not a Buddha. You still have blind spots. You see how wise I am? I still can't see behind me. You see? Case in point, it doesn't matter how wise you are. You still have blind spots. But it doesn't apply to the Buddha. The Buddha, it's nothing he doesn't know. But we do have limitations. It's a very perceptive question. More perceptive than you meant it to be. Okay? Oh. And then he go home and say, Mommy, there's only one person in this entire world who understands me. It's excellent. Very good. See, you guys jumped the gun as usual. You stop picking on him. I hate it when people, you gang up on him. It's so nasty. Let me ask you. Yes, Black.
Master,
Redemption.
I think he enjoys it.
Redemption. Repentance. Repent.
He enjoys it, Master.
Enjoy it. I know he's being facetious. I'm testing his honesty. He said, yeah, I thought of it. See, I insulted him in the end anyway. Excellent. Very good. And that's why you guys are very open-minded. That's excellent. It's not something that's in the books. Because the way the Chinese put it, the way that the Asians put it, is so mystical. Enlightened people are so wonderful. Oh, give me a break. You met the kind of enlightened people I've met. You say, is that all? After all these years, that's all you got? You're so ignorant. It's disgusting. I'm going to switch to Catholicism. At least they revere something absolute. In Buddhism, you guys have nothing absolute whatsoever. You're wise and yet you're still stupid. Ignorant, not stupid. When you're wise, you're not stupid. When you're wise, you're still ignorant. And that's why Buddhists, the true Buddhists are so humble. They know they have blind spots. Until they become a Buddha, they always have blind spots. And that's why, can I share this with you? That's why they go and say, I'm looking for someone who has fewer blind spots than I do. So, because at least he sees better than I do. At least I'm going to get something out of it. Because if I don't, I cannot see my blind spots. See that? Okay. Going back to slide 45. The wise person comprehends that the nature is non-dual. So, comprehends here is from a Chinese word that means that thoroughly is clear. It's not comprehend, it's the way you understand. Okay? He understands thoroughly. Okay? Meaning that you cannot call Mahayana wisdom unless you understand non-duality. No blind spots here. You thoroughly understand that thing called non-duality. No but and ifs. There's no such a thing as duality. No, none. Okay? I swear to you. Yes. You like the interview from Nixon? I love that. I swear to you. It's stuck in my mind. And those flapping things. Yes, White.
Wouldn't cause and effect be a symptom of duality?
No, duality is opposites, not cause and effect. Duality, for those of you who are not sure what it means, duality, dual is two. Duality is a beautiful term that says there exists a pair. Yin and yang is a pair. As long as the yin, there's always yang. Man and woman. Okay? As long as there's Eve, there's always boys and girls. See that? So the world is yin and yang. The world is dual. The world as we know it. Think about it. Let's go. I challenge you. Think of something that is non-dual in this world. Tell me, what's non-dual? Can you think of something that you know in this world that's non-dual? Yes, White.
One time I asked you, I think I said, is Buddha nature yin or is it yang? And you said it's beyond yin and yang.
The Buddha nature is not of this world. Yes, Q.
Master, you didn't answer my question. I wonder, should I say again or it's a bad question?
Say what?
I was asking a question.
What question? What
So,
question was that?
So my question was around affliction and bodhi. So if we still see them dual, they're different. We still see them different. Is that you can only see the same at a certain level, or there are some at a different level you would see some afflictions as no different from bodhi? Is that a sudden thing or a gradual process?
I admit to you, I don't have any samadhi. It hurts me to listen to the kind of question. My child, someday you understand. Clearly you don't right now, but don't give up hope. I do not like to answer these types of questions because when I give an answer to this, a lot of scholars, a lot of smart allies will imitate me and would cause problems to a lot of people. Right now, you Chinese people, you scholarly people, already read so much about these principles. It's just like the example earlier about samadhis and so forth. Unless you're there, unless you know, you go through those stages, it wouldn't mean much to you. Okay? I explained the different samadhis to demonstrate to you that the people who haven't practiced samadhi would have no clues what they are. And that's all the Buddha talked about. The Buddhist scriptures only gave you, bits and pieces. There's a lack of continuum. You look at the Buddhist teaching, there's really no continuum at all. Unless you practice, and you can see, understand why there's certain progression, why the teaching has to be that way, okay? And it's not something that can be rendered exhaustively via words. It's not possible. So that's why at time in the Chinese, they're very compassionate. They don't explain a lot to their followers because in a Chinese culture, you're supposed to not question the teacher's words. That's not being respectful. In our culture of the West, in this modern era, it's okay for us to question our teacher and not respect our teachers. Okay, that's our culture. The Asian culture is not like that. The Confucian culture is just taboo for you. You have to worship and revere the teachers and take the teachers' words like a Bible, if you will. But our culture is not like that. So that's why I try to elaborate more for you and help the Chinese a little bit at the same time, because the Chinese, what happened is the Asians, they forsake their Asian heritage, and now they follow the Western way, the Western measurements, the Western gauges for success. And unfortunately, that's only limited to material things. But something that the Asian culture has that's far superior to our Western culture is virtue, is morality. We don't have that. There's no way for us to compare. I don't care what Kath thinks, but our morality in Asia is so profound, okay? It's so deeply interwoven in our cultures that, it's so, that's why the culture, Asian value system is very profound. Take example, concept of filial piety. Only Asians have it. It's a fantastic teaching from Confucius, which is very Buddhist. Confucius is a bodhisattva. Okay? So his teachings are basically Buddhist teaching disguised as non-Buddhist cloaks. That's all. But the that concept of filial piety is tremendously profound. And now the Asians forsake that and give it up and say, oh, no, I'm here because you gave birth to me, so you owe me. Are you kidding me? You're a nasty person, you like that. Okay? You're so confused. And that's why your life is miserable. You don't know right from wrong. And our parents don't teach the children anymore like that. That's why our children are confused. And we'll also be as unhappy as we are. So there's so much depth in the Chinese culture that the Chinese no longer understand. I'm serious about it. The depth of the Chinese teaching, those Chinese monks and nuns, are so profound. And their culture, they didn't explain that much either. I elaborated a lot more here for you because I want to demystify the Chinese teachings and so forth, and I want to accommodate for your sake and my sake so that we have a clear understanding. There are a lot of things. There's a lot more than I can explain to you. I'm willing to explain to you. Okay? And it's something that you will find out when you go through these processes, when you work hard and develop your concentration and study the scriptures and practice samadhi, and then you see what I'm talking about. It's a lot more than I can explain to you, or I'm willing to explain to you, because otherwise, too many smart Alex, all they do is read books, and they think they understand everything. I don't want to give you that false sense of accomplishment. The words that you describe, like this Xue Jian, eunuch here, okay, somehow it's lacking something. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. So duality. It's a question, like the question that was from the cube is that, bodhi is affliction, affliction is bodhi. That's right there. It's non-duality. This person, when she asked, her viewpoint is still of duality. She's saying, I see bodhi, the way I learned and read about bodhi, clearly is different from affliction. Is that how you heard? Yeah? This woman is ordinary, a common person who sees light and darkness as two, who sees bodhi, affliction as two. She's not wise at all. If she's wise at all, she would comprehend thoroughly that the nature is non-dual. It's neither affliction, neither bodhi. Okay? To be continued. Eventually you see. That's all you need to understand right now. You don't understand, you still see affliction is different from bodhi. Bodhi is not the same affliction. Then you're not there yet. You are what is called a common mortal. As far as Mahayana is concerned. You may have some wisdom, but you're still a common person. There you have it. Any follow-up questions before we close? So the short answer, without insulting anyone, you find out for yourself. Continue, grasshopper. Yes, Green.
Master, I think I noticed my face shining sometimes. Does that mean anything cool? Or
My
does
face
it
shining?
Yeah, after I leave here, but I don't think I have any wisdom. I think I just ripped off everything from here.
Did it happen really? So cool. I remember once I was here actually, doing a Pure Land Dharma assembly, and I was focusing on the reciting a mantra during rebirth transference, or maybe a medicine master transference. Okay, I was focusing, and later one of my disciples, she says, "Master," and she surprised the heck out of me because this woman, coming from her is surprising. She says, "Master, when you were doing the ceremony, I looked at you. I said, my first reaction, what are you doing looking at me? What's the matter with you? He says, I looked at you and I saw your face so red. I said, oops, it's my rum. Rum has a way of making my face look red. So she, you know, so clearly, when she was reciting and her head is full of false thoughts, she had to look over to my side, and her whatever eye she opened, she saw some kind of color that's strange. You got the drift? Don't be alarmed. There's plenty of weird people around you. They see all kinds of strange things. All right. Yes.
He says he sees his face get brighter, not your face.
Is that what he said? Your face? There's no mirror here. How can you see your face?
I go home and look in the mirror and it look like light shining through my head or something. Does that mean?
2 holes here, right? Yeah. That's what the horn's going to be. And Daniel recognizes right away what those are. He says, "Woo!" and there's if you look behind you, there's a pointed tail as well. And don't forget the trident in the corner. Sorry, kid, it's your Catholic influences. No, it's possible. It's funny because I know we lighthearted about everything. It's no big deal, guys. You open your eyes and you see something and you say, oh, how exciting. It shuts it right away. You can't see the light anymore, right? Huh? See? You got excited. Next time you see it, yeah. Oh, yeah. Then it stays open a little bit longer. Okay? It happens to a lot of you. You know, you see the woman sees one in Bodhisattva flying, ooh, ooh. in the Buddha hall, ooh. I say, hey, look, and it disappeared. And I bet you the woman who saw my face red, she would never be able to see it red again. Close it right away. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It's been real, okay? Whatever it means. Let's do a reverse transference.